I'm at work, guys, but we're here at my second job. I'm a journalist for my main job and a student, but I have an on-campus job. I'm at the on-campus job right here. But we're hearing Chauncey Billups won't be fired. Thank God. There's rumors. Some fans are calling for the firing of Chauncey Billups. He's a good coach. Everyone's bought in. It's a big thing that they talk about is that, dude, he's not lost the locker room. Nobody has been like, screw Chauncey Billups, this or that. I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you guys think of Chauncey Billups? Do you guys agree with me? He does not deserve to get fired. He is a good coach, all right? I love former NBA players as head coaches personally. That's just a personal opinion. I think he's a fantastic coach who still needs time. I mean, it's only his second season. So let's get right into it. Let me hear your thoughts. We're on the way to 20,000 subscribers. We're, recently past 10. So hit that like and subscribe button. And let's continue this talk about Chauncey Billups and what the Portland Trailblazers may or may not do. With that being said, let's talk about the article. So this is coming from Jason Quick of The Athletic. Chauncey Billups said he doesn't have any fear of losing his job as the Portland Trailblazers head coach after the team struggled this season. Quote, I don't worry about that at all. We've had our talks and everything, and that will remain between us. But I don't worry about that at all, said Billups about his relationship with general manager Joe Cronin. Billups is 58-94 during his tenure as the Blazers head coach. Billups has drawn key endorsements from Damian Lillard, Anfernee Simons, and Jerami Grant. A source within the Blazers front office added there has been no discussion in the organization over firing Billups, said the idea hasn't even crossed their minds. And obviously this is coming from a reputable source. And I think it makes sense because the reason why we heard this is that this is a team that, the 13th place in the 15th, in a 15-team Western Conference. And Billups is in the second year of his 5-year deal he signed in the summer of 21 when he replaced Terry Stotts, who was fired after making the playoffs 8 consecutive seasons in a row. And the hopes was that Billups would improve the Blazers in 3 key areas. Defense, which had sunk to 27th and 29th out of the 30 teams in Terry Stotts' final 2 seasons. The tweak, which had become a predictable offense by adding a more player and ball movement and developing youngsters quicker than Stotts' typical 3-year plan. But 2 years in, the Blazers still can't stop anyone defensively. They're ranked 27th in defense rating this year, better only than the Pistons, Rockets, and Spurs, who have the 3 worst records in the NBA. And Portland also remains one of the lowest in assists, 22nd in the league, and also have lost more games, 17 to be exact, when leading by 10 points or more. During a stretch from early December to late January, there was still postseason hopes. The team lost 9 consecutive clutch games, designated by the NBA as games within 5 points at any time during the final 5 minutes. For certain, the Blazers haven't been a good product on the court under Billups, but he hasn't had the most ideal working conditions. From injuries to front office upheaval to a full-blown roster reconstruction in both of the last 2 seasons, the Blazers' last 2 years have been anything but less than chaos. And 4 months into his tenure, the president resigned. 5 months into his tenure, the general manager who was hired was fired, and that hired him was fired. And 6 months into his tenure, the franchise cornerstone and star was shut down with an abdominal surgery. 7 months into his tenure, 3/5 of his starting lineup was traded. And then in his first season after the All-Star break, the Blazers decided to tank to improve their lottery, losing 21 of their final 23 games. So this season, they started off 10-4, but injuries to Justice Winslow and Nazir Little and their inability to, get Gary Payton II healthy exposed their depth. And they had to play Shaedon Sharpe and Jabari Walker and Trendon Watford extended minutes when they needed to develop those guys. Instead, we didn't get to see Lillard, Simons, Grant, Josh Hart, and Jusuf Nurkic. So, Lillard, who's having arguably the greatest season of his career, we aren't getting to probably be able to see that in the postseason. So it brings up a general question of if this is going to be something we'll see or not with the Portland Trailblazers. But I also just think this hasn't been his fault. I think Chauncey Billups done the best thing, and the fact that he hasn't had, locker room chaos. People say he's like one of the best communicators. So big changes are expected this summer, and Billups is going to get another shot, and he has the blessing of his locker room. So, again, he's a former player, and he's a guy who knows the game. He's a former point guard. Also, Chauncey Billups, a guy who was considered a bust for like the first 5-6 years of his career, and then ended up winning a championship with the Pistons and arguably ended up having a Hall of Fame career. So if anything, he knows how to deal with adversity and knows how to deal with working under not the most optimal circumstances. So let me hear your thoughts down below.